Hi everyone, I'm Paul Cote and I'm with Captain Blakelock of the Conroe ISD Police Department. And today we're going to talk about responsible gun ownership. So what do you have to share with us today, Matt?
Paul, thank you for having me today.
Yep.
And I really appreciate the fact that you're giving me the opportunity to talk about this. The Conroe ISD Police Department this last year partnered with Moms Demand Action. Moms Demand Action is a grassroots group that came about shortly after the Sandy Hook school shooting, and it is a group that is for responsible gun ownership. And so they came up with a program called Be Smart, and they approached the police department with it and asked if we would be a part of this and help promote it. Right. And so Chief Harness and I went to a presentation that they did in the Woodlands, and we got to see exactly what they were teaching. And what their premise is they want to respect the Second Amendment, but they also want to promote safe gun ownership and reduce gun violence. And so we gladly accepted a partnership with them, and we have started putting on presentations in schools. Now these are designed for parents and for gun owners. And so we've started putting these presentations on this last year and hope to do it a whole lot more in the year coming.
Well, that's great. This video will give us an opportunity to reach hopefully a bunch of people on just
Absolutely.
being safe with their guns, right?
Absolutely.
So where do we start with this?
So they came up with an acronym, and you know, kids can be silly, kids can make bad decisions, and we know that. And so gun safety is a parent's responsibility. It's the adult responsibility. And Be Smart is an acronym for what parents should do to model safe gun ownership. The S stands for securing all of your guns in your vehicle or your house. The M stands for modeling responsible behavior to your child and to your peers. A is ask. Don't be afraid as a parent. And when we talk to parents and we say, hey, before your kid went to spend the night with someone, did you ask the parents if they had firearms in the house and are they secured? And there's a stigma attached to that. People are afraid to ask that question. And so this encourages people to say, talk to other parents before your child goes over, because we know that kids are going to be curious. And kids will get into things sometimes that they shouldn't. And so we want to answer these questions before a tragedy can occur.
Right.
The R stands for recognizing the risks of teen suicide. Every year in the United States, at least 600 kids use a firearm and successfully commit suicide. And so if the access to the firearms is lessened, then the instance of suicide could be lessened. And so part of the program is to secure those weapons so that kids don't have that access, but to also look for signs and symptoms of a child that may be depressed or having a struggle, who might be contemplating suicide. And then of course the last of the acronym is T, and that's telling your peers, sharing this message with other people so that everyone participates in just smart, safe gun ownership.
So is this a nationwide program?
This is a nationwide program. There are, I know, chapters in every single state. This is the only one in Texas that I'm familiar with. And when they brought this to us, we were super excited to jump on board and participate. The police department helps with some of the presentations, and we also provide gun locks and the instruction on how to use gun locks, so that if a parent owns firearms and they want to be safe about that, they don't want their kid to have access to them, we can provide them with free gun locks, teach them how to use them so that at least the guns are safe.
So where can parents go to get these gun locks?
They can contact us at Conroe ISD Police Department. We can provide them to any family that has a need. They can attend any of the Be Smart presentations, and typically there are gun locks available there. I know that also people that attend gun shows and things like that, there are typically gun locks available to people there from the firearm providers.
All right. And your gun locks are provided for free, is that correct?
They are provided for free. We get them through the government, and it is simply to promote safe gun ownership.
Right. Very good. So what are some of the numbers across the country in regards to like instances that promoted this Be Smart activity?
A big focus was some of the school shootings that have occurred. They found that when kids have access to firearms, bad things happen, whether it be that they intend harm to someone else or whether they, like we talked about earlier, might be suicidal or having a tough time, and having access to a firearm allows them to make a choice that they wouldn't otherwise make.
Right.
And so that really was the precipice for this, and hopefully it's something that we're just going to grow. We're going to grow the idea of, if we take the access away, then we lessen the violence.
Absolutely. I think it's actually an excellent thought out program, and it's not only an education, it's really an education for the parents more than anything, but it's part of what's so important in our area, where we actually try to help prevent these sad occasions where we have these bad instances.
Absolutely. Some studies as recent as 2018 that were done, some surveys that were done, showed that well over 4.6 million American children under the age of 18 had what they considered easy access to a firearm. Over 85% of kids that attempt suicide, if using a firearm, they are successful. And so those numbers alone really drive the point home that we have to take that, not that you don't need to own firearms, but that if you are, just be responsible with them.
Right. So what are the tips as parents to when talking to your children?
So we recommend that, one, that parents do talk to their children. You can talk to your very young children.
Right.
If you're going to do that, keep it simple. And the tips would be that you make it a part of your normal safety conversation that you would have your child already. That you keep the language simple. You know, if you see a gun, don't touch it. Tell an adult. It doesn't need to be any more descriptive than that. That you tell your children not to touch the gun, even if somebody says that it's a toy or that it's safe.
Right.
We don't ever want to trust that a gun is safe. We have to treat it as loaded. And then have this conversation regularly with your children. Don't make it just a one-time thing.
Right.
And so your older kids, you can talk about the same thing. When you have that conversation with your child about drugs, alcohol, drunk driving, or just responsibility in general, have that same conversation. Don't touch a gun. Don't be afraid. Don't think you're going to be in trouble if you tell someone that there was a gun present that was unsecured. And then don't listen to a friend when they say a gun's unloaded or safe. Or, hey, do you want to go to my parents' closet and check out this pistol or this rifle? Tell your parent and leave.
Right. Captain Blakelock, that was some really important information to share with our community. And I want to thank you and thank Conroe ISD for all that you all do to try to keep our children safe.
We appreciate it, and we appreciate you having us on here for this very important topic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You have a great day.